In a quaint little farm nestled amidst rolling hills and golden fields, there lived a cheerful little red hen named Rosie. Now Rosie was no ordinary hen, she was a hen with a dream. One morning while exploring the farm, Rosie chanced upon a lonely, neglected patch of soil. It was a humble patch, overgrown with weeds and scattered with rocks, but Rosie saw potential. A vision of a beautiful garden filled her mind, a garden where she could grow all sorts of delightful veggies and flowers. With a heart full of excitement and a spirit full of determination, Rosie set to work. She plucked out the weeds and cleared the rocks, humming a little tune as she worked. Then she planted rows of seeds, carrots, lettuce, tomatoes and sunflowers. She treated each seed with tender love and care, tucking them into the soil and watering them gently. Every day she tended to her garden with love and care, watering the seeds and singing sweet songs to encourage their growth. As the days turned into weeks, Rosie noticed that her garden needed more attention than she could manage alone, so she decided to recruit some help from her farmyard friends. First on her list was Whiskers the cat, who was simply soaking up the sun beneath the old oak tree. Rosie asked, "Whiskers, would you lend a wing and help me with my garden?" But Whiskers, stretching out lazily, replied, "Not I, Rosie. I much prefer to bask in the sunshine." Next up was Buster the dog, who was taking a nap on the porch. "Buster," Rosie asked, "would you like to help me with my garden?" But Buster, with a wag of his tail, declined. "Not I, Rosie. I'd rather chase my tail all day." Rosie then tried her luck with Dizzy the duck and Buzz the bee, but to no avail. Each friend she approached had an excuse. With a sigh, Rosie continued her search for helpers. So, with determination in her heart, Rosie set to work on her garden all by herself. She was a whirlwind of energy, pouring her love and care into every square inch of her garden. With her tiny beak, she meticulously removed the weeds that dared to invade her precious plants. She watered the soil until it was just the right level of damp, not too dry, not too wet. Rosie was not deterred by the challenges. She embraced them, knowing that they were just stepping stones on her path to creating a beautiful garden. She tended to the seeds, whispering sweet words of encouragement as she watered them. "Grow strong, grow tall," she would chirp, her voice filled with hope and anticipation. And her hard work paid off. The seeds sprouted, pushing their tiny green heads out of the soil. They grew taller, stronger, until her garden was a riot of vibrant colours and lush greenery. One day, as Rosie was admiring her handiwork, her friends from the farm came to visit. They were amazed by the beauty of the garden and the delicious vegetables that grew within it. Whiskers, Buster, Dizzy and Buzz were in awe of Rosie's accomplishment. Her once tiny patch of neglected soil had been transformed into a vibrant oasis of greenery, bursting with ripe, juicy vegetables and tall, blooming sunflowers. Whiskers, previously too lazy to lend a paw, couldn't help but marvel at the sight. "Your garden is truly amazing, Rosie," he said, his eyes wide with wonder. Buster, too, was impressed. He wagged his tail in delight and said, "And just look at all these tasty vegetables." Dizzy and Buzz nodded in agreement, their faces glowing with admiration for Rosie's hard work and dedication. As they stood there taking in the beauty of the garden, a change came over them. They realized the joy that could come from working together and creating something beautiful. From that day on, Rosie's friends were eager to help her tend to the garden. They pulled weeds, watered plants and harvested vegetables together, sharing in the joy of watching the garden thrive. As they worked, Rosie, Whiskers, Buster, Dizzy and Buzz discovered the magic of cooperation. The task that used to seem overwhelming for Rosie alone became a delightful endeavour when shared with friends. It was a symphony of clucking, purring, barking, quacking and buzzing resonating through the garden, a testament to their newfound unity. Each of them brought something unique to the table. Rosie, with her keen eye for detail, Whiskers with his nimble paws, Buster with his boundless energy, Dizzy with his knack for finding water, and Buzz, being a bee, knew best about plants. They realized that every task, no matter how big or small, becomes easier and more enjoyable when done together. And as they worked side by side, they learned an important lesson, that with a little bit of hard work and a whole lot of love, anything is possible, even turning a neglected corner into a flourishing garden.